Hey, beautiful ones. My intention with the Shamangelic Healing podcast is to be a platform that explores real-life issues and provides you with valuable insights and practical tools to support you on your journey of healing core wounds and reclaiming your power and manifesting a thriving, impactful life that you absolutely love. You see, it's my dream to inspire millions to shine. So if you find these topics valuable, please take a moment and share the podcast and leave us a rave review. This helps the podcast grow and reach the people that would greatly benefit from these insights. Thank you so much for tuning in and investing in your personal development. I'm right here walking this journey with you. So let's dive into this episode. Welcome to our chakra balancing journey to get aligned and get clear. Be sure to stay tuned all the way to the very end because we're going to be leading a guided visualization to balance, clear, and awaken all the chakras with a musical sound journey. There's also a free gift in the show notes that is a guided visualization to clear, balance, and awaken your chakras as well. So be sure to grab that free gift and enjoy. Welcome everybody to this Joint Jam podcast in the classroom of our backyard, Sedona, Arizona. And we're excited to bring to you today a joint podcast transmission about balancing the chakras. And with everything that's been happening lately, we thought it would be really nice to just drop a transmission to help everybody get aligned and get clear and kind of get back into harmony and balance so that we can move forward with grace and clarity in navigating these interesting times. So I'm here today with my beautiful soul brother, Steven Jaggers, who is an amazing body worker and integrational body movement specialist. And his podcast is Ebb and Flow Radio. So you might be listening to this transmission on that. Or you might be listening on the Shamangelic Healing podcast. And I'm Anahata Ananda. And we are so grateful to share this time with you.
So grateful. Welcome, everybody. As you heard, this is the amazing Anahata Ananda with the Shamangelic Healing here in Sedona. She does amazing work. I've received so much and can't wait to learn more from you. And it's always a blessing connecting.
Yeah. Likewise, there's just this like kindred chemistry in this like soul connection, and he does the most amazing body work. He can get into places into the body where I'm like, wow, I needed that alignment, and or just how to move my shoulder in a different way. And so for integration with body, mind, and soul, go over there. Come here to Sedona. You get a great combo. So when you are ready to travel in Sedona, come and visit us both for sure.
Yeah.
So what we'd love to do is just walk you through the chakras today and kind of share a little bit about each chakra and what issues are often associated with each of the chakras so that you might be able to identify something, especially lately, that might have gotten pushed out of balance or blocked or is upside down. And this is the opportunity to kind of say, hey, where can I get each of my chakra energy centers in a little bit more alignment so that as we navigate these challenges, it's with a little bit more grace, a little more balance.
I think we're all feeling just a little bit off, a little bit like we've had the rug pulled out from underneath us. And right now it's probably more important to just, figure out our own alignment, just get clear, take the time to just reflect and see which areas of our body and where we can get aligned with ourselves. So we're going to go through each of the chakras and talk about what we're doing and how we're navigating these waters, because this is areas that we've probably never had to navigate before. So.
In our human experience, we're experiencing more catalysts, more discomfort, more challenge internally with our jobs, careers, family, money, health than probably ever before, and more in just a few weeks or one day, a couple days period of time than we probably have in our whole lifetime. And so it's not uncommon for us to get out of balance or knocked off whack and not really feel ourselves. So let's dive in.
Let's dive in.
I'm so grateful because, we're going through it too. And we want to share with you what we've noticed in ourselves that has been out of balance or, really tested during these times, and where we've had to deepen our physical, emotional, and energetic and spiritual practices to kind of navigate these times so that we're not moving through this with even more chaos and fear, but we can do it with clarity and calmness. So
and like you said, we can really use this time as a catalyst. The perspective of using it as a catalyst for just becoming more aligned with ourselves.
Yeah, so good. This is like a massive medicine journey for all of us.
It's bringing up some shit. I'm not gonna lie.
Right? It's like, this is a deep thing, and we're doing it collectively, which is just crazy and beautiful. So humanity has this chance to evolve and take these experiences, learn from them, adapt, and get stronger. Because it feels like, as we go into the root chakra, because that's our first one, it feels like our foundation has been totally challenged, because a lot of what we are have built our lives on in the root is actually not on stable ground, and so it's not sustainable the way we've been living our lives. And this experience collectively is showing us where the way we treat ourselves, maybe our orientation to Mother Earth or finances or our health are really not sustainable. And so any cracks in our foundation or where we're not built on solid ground is being brought to the attention to look at. So, which is tender.
So as far as the root goes, is there anything specific that you are working through right now?
Well, there's a lot of things in the root chakra that sit here. Finances, and how we orient to money, and how we spend, how we earn, how we feel about it. So finances sit here, health, and how we're treating ourselves, our healthcare practices or lifestyles that are really throwing our health under the bus. So that sits here, and also our connection to each other, our connection to community, and our connection to Mother Earth. So with those, I'd say the one that lately for me that has been rising to be in greater alignment is definitely my physical care practices. What's being shown to me is that the way I put my health kind of on the back, like a lower priority, and that everybody else and everything else is more important than that, is not sustainable. And I can feel and hear my body going, sister, that isn't sustainable. So I think for me, shifting to prioritizing my physical health more, and movement and rest and self-care is definitely being asked to be improved and built on solid foundation. Because for those of us that are having health challenges or at this time, if we're not healthy, we can't serve, we can't enjoy life. And so that's where it's not stable. So we need our health. What's for you?
Well, like you're saying, our immune system is not separate to every other system in our body. So when we are dialing in all of our movement practices and our spiritual practice and, nutrition and all of that, and our community and our connection, that is going to naturally boost our immune system as well. For me, let's face it, this, what we're going through right now has probably changed most of our financial, let's face it, travel is not coming here to Sedona right now. There is no tourism. Everyone's kind of just stopped, taking a break. So, I work with people that come here mostly on an in-person basis, and we're all being quarantined right now.
Right, and so for those listening or watching that whose income has been affected, where it's like, wait, whether it's Airbnb or whether events that you were involved with, production or products, you're a restaurant or a business that has had to close, then that has definitely affected the financial flow. So in looking at your orientation to money, what is something that can change that this experience has brought up for you?
Well, with that, there's an income and there's an outflow. Mm-hmm. So I've had to address both sides of that.
Yeah, for sure. It's an equation.
It's an equation, exactly. So with the income, I've really had to step back and identify how I can pivot from, because in-person sessions right now are just not happening. So how can I step up and offer my medicine via the internet or via social media or connecting digitally with people, and how does my medicine show up in that?
Yeah.
So I've had a lot of extra time to be able to sit with that, and it's been great because I've been wanting to shift more to having an online presence anyway. So it's been great.
It seems like this has been a catalyst for us to be a lot more creative, a lot more present with being resourceful and pivot and look for other ways, alternative streams of income, and also looking at how can I, if there's less coming in, how can I look at the financial output of where's money going out where it really doesn't have to.
Absolutely.
So we get to look at our spending habits to see if they're sustainable.
Yeah, and where is my money going? What am I buying that is really not serving me or not serving the planet in general?
Yeah.
Really dialing in what I'm spending on food, all of the little monthly subscriptions that I have to all of these different places. I mean, I've really had the time to sit down and figure out where my money is going.
It's a great time to assess the financial flow of what's coming in and how do we earn an income, and does it feel in alignment with our soul? A lot of people are, asking themselves, is my career in alignment right now? Does it support my soul? And is it really what I want to do? As people step back from their jobs, it's also the opportunity to say, do I love what I do in how I make money? Is it emotionally or energetically or physically costing me because I don't love it anymore or I never loved it? So that's super. I really appreciate your honesty there, because finances are energetic currency. And like, where are we investing our money? And also, are we spending in a way that is in harmony with Mother Nature as we vote for different things with our dollars? Are we supporting sustainable businesses? Are we supporting sustainable products? Because the other thing that in the root chakra that's really rising at this point is how disconnected we've been with our impact and our consumption, and how that's affecting Mother Earth, and where we're not growing our food and we're buying it in plastic disposable packaging, how that's affecting our root system, because we are now, every single human on the planet is having plastic in their body, because plastic is in the oceans, it's in the water, all of our pollutants are going back into the ocean, and so that's going into the landfill, it's going into our what is commercially grown and our food, and so we're in a closed loop system.
We are.
That this is also giving us the opportunity to, are our choices sustainable with how we treat Mother Nature as well. And I think that's been a big challenge in feeling disconnected to Mother Earth, and that's having a physical effect on, and the toxicity of our footprint and our imprint is also creating toxicity in the body. So how's that showing up for you?
Well, it's interesting because this is really showing us how connected we are. This is a global thing going on.
Yeah.
And this is affecting humans everywhere.
Yeah.
So, our choices that one person makes wherever does affect everyone.
Yeah.
And I believe every time that we get sick, it is nature, it is our biology saying, hey, this is a time out. This is a forced contraction. You need to sit and take some time to rest and figure out, what patterns that you were doing to get yourself sick in the first place.
Right. And collectively, with this virus moving around the country that is with us now, it gives us the opportunity to see, am I moving in my lifestyle in a way that compromises my immunity? And
the
collective immunity. And with stress and anxiety and hustle and push and force, is that affecting collective immunity? And how can we lighten our footprint on Mother Nature so that she's able to detoxify from the pollutants we've put in her waters and in the earth, so that the foods and the fresh air and the water is cleaner for her, which is therefore cleaner for us. And so there is this opportunity for us to look here as we pause as to how we can be more connected to Mother Earth and more sustainable with our choices, for sure.
And it is interesting to see the amount of pollution that's gone down
I
since
know,
this whole
right?
thing. The people aren't traveling. The waterways are becoming more clear.
Yeah, air
quality is greater. Everyone's kind of just taking this rest. And when are we going to realize that we don't need a virus to get everyone to just take a break for a second and connect?
Right. Because this is also what's happening in the root chakra, is community and connection. And we're finding new ways to connect. Instead of just being on our electronic devices separate from each other, we're actually reaching out in communities and across the internet to see how we can support other people in our neighborhood, and how we can support people with inspirational content, with gratitude. And so the question we have for you is, in these areas around finances, your physical health, your connection to Mother Nature, your community relationships, are you in harmony with your community, and how you earn and spend money, how are you being supported financially with your career? Is there anything out of balance there that you can identify that you could pivot or shift or let go of a way that isn't sustainable? And what would you reach for in its place? What new habit, what new lifestyle, what new choice could be more in alignment so that you personally are built on a stronger foundation? Because that helps the collective. When you are healthier, you are connected to Mother Earth, you are connected to your community, that you're healthy and that your finances are in order, because that has an imprint on the collective as well.
And that's the baseline right now. That's the thing that we all need to focus on at the start.
Yeah. Getting stable, because this is in the root chakra. This is stability, this is safety, this is feeling supported. And so what about life that you can control can be more stable right now? So that's a little bit about the root chakra, which is the earth element. And that's kind of like the symbol here is like a tree. Do I have my root system strong and stable, so that when the wind blows or that the floods come, that I can handle, that I can navigate times like these? And our root systems are being tested to be strengthened right now, for sure. Cool. Okay, so
move on up.
Second chakra. Brother, introduce us to the second chakra.
This is me. I'm a water.
You're a water sign.
All right, so the sacral chakra is it's creativity, it's our emotional body, and it's our sexuality.
Yeah. So much sits here.
Yeah, it is the center where life is created, where our creative juices come from. And what I think about as far as the sacral, and anytime we are put under a lot of stress, how do we get rid of stress? Stress is a pressure. It is a force that's put on us. We have to learn how to express. We have to learn how to X the pressure.
Yeah, I love it.
So many,
Release,
so many very stressful times have created the best arts, the best music. As humans, we've found ways to express in certain ways. So, You know, I've had extra time to play music. I've had extra time to write, to really sit and work on creative projects that I might not have had time to focus on.
I love that creativity, because we might have been stuck in the pattern of go, do, where creative expression really hasn't been a priority. And so where can we come back in if we're looking at this as a rainbow, and we can identify what of our rainbow colors are bright and strong and stable that we tends to be our go-to, and then also for a place of balance, where are those that we tend to avoid, oppress, ignore, and really not develop. And so in this journey today, we want to look at which ones of those need a little bit more attention. And I think creative expression for me, I don't go to it naturally. And so painting and beadworking, making necklaces or jewelry and artwork, and poetry. It's like I forget to flex that muscle, so I can acknowledge that has been a little stifled, that my inner child that likes to play has been on the bench because the grown-up has been work, do, move, and that part of me, that inner child that wants to play and laugh and have fun, which is our orange color in the rainbow, we need that for sure.
We need that.
We need that
playfulness. We need that more than ever.
More than ever is laughter and play.
And it's like, what is the number one thing that is a detriment to our health? And that is excess stress.
Yeah.
Stress that we do not know how to move through.
Yeah.
So finding ways to express, finding new channels to express, finding new ways to just move that stress through our body, through our psyche, through our spirit.
Mm-hmm.
And testing, maybe it's a time to go test out some new modalities that you might have been curious but have never had the opportunity or the time to work on.
Yeah. So, at this time, what is definitely going to be arising in the second chakra is a lot of emotion, whether that's fear, whether that's anxiety, like Stephen said. It can be sadness, grief, overwhelm, like frustration, and this is also really the time for us to raise our ability to honor our emotions, because we're going through so many waves, because this is the water element. We're going through so many emotional waves, way more in 1 hour or day than we have in a whole lifetime. And so we get to what that is inviting for us is to be able to honor our emotions. If we feel angry, if we feel sad, is to give it a space instead of to stuff it or avoid it or ignore it, which is likely what we've been, trained by our parents or society to do, is, avoid, ignore, distract, pretend like it doesn't exist. And now we're being asked to evolve that tendency so that we can look at our emotions and go to our inner child where he or she is upset or frustrated and hold a space for them, so that doesn't get built up over time and create physical disease or an emotional outburst that is destructive to ourselves or to our relationships or to the people that we care about. Because I know when I haven't been giving that outlet in a healthy way for my emotions, then Dragon Lady Biatch shows up, like whoever breathing fire, whoever is in the proximity. I don't care if you're a little child or grown adult. Like, here comes fire breathing dragon. And so, humbly acknowledging that I need to have a space to actually come back and process my emotions, which may not be creative expression in that moment. It may be, wow, I just need to come back and be still and journal, or maybe take that pen or pencil or that crayon and just write black all over the page and be like, and express that emotion, or give myself permission to cry or scream and hold a safe space for the emotions right now, so that they're not polluting the internal, the external environment. So, how is that showing up for you? Like the emotional waves right now?
I've been having all the feels.
Yeah, all the feels.
Emotions really are energy in motion.
Yeah.
And when we're not finding routes to actually, or when we're not really feeling them, we are suppressing, and if we suppress, then we repress, then we eventually become depressed.
Yeah.
And then we hold on to it, and it eventually calcifies into a physical dis-ease or some sort of issue going on in the physical body. So for me, I've always been a really physical person, physical movement, moving it through my physical body. You know, these lower chakras are chakras of the body. So for me,
denser,
they're a little more dense. So for me, it's been better to like move it through the body somatically.
Yeah.
Whether that's like rolling around, you know, making noises, or even, you know, taking it out on a punching bag, or, you know, lifting weights, or sitting in meditation and crying.
Yeah. This is a time to
letting the
be
water.
Really...
I had one of my mentors. I was receiving a session from her, and I was just sweating so much through my hands and my feet, so much water releasing through my body, and she was like, do you know, you're releasing so much water through your hands and your feet, do you ever release it through your eyes? And I was like,
for a man,
my God.
That is such a good question, especially for a man, because men are programmed, don't feel, don't cry.
Yeah.
And I want to acknowledge that intelligence for all of us, for men and women. It's okay for you to feel, it's okay for you to cry. And as men are told not to cry, women are told not to get angry. And so what if we released all of those judgments, and what if we released all of that programming to just hold a safe space for the feels? I like that. And to honor that there is intelligence, you know, in our emotions. If there is sadness, there's probably something that hasn't grieved fully.
Yeah.
And if there is anger, there's probably a frustration about some aspect of life or relationship or the way things are going that isn't quite right. And if we allow the emotion to express, then we can get curious as to the why and what is the lesson or shift or different choice that I can make so that my inner child feels more safe, or that I can say goodbye to that thing because I'm grieving, or I can change that thing that is continuing to create frustration that I have just been avoiding because I haven't been looking at why am I so angry? Why am I so sad? And there is a place for the intelligence of the emotions to rise, and so I love that. And so what else sits here is sexual expression. And as you know, whether you're in relationship or not in relationship, and you know how you move your sexual energy, whether you move your sexual energy, is it in integrity, is it in alignment, is it respectful to yourself and others? And in our history of our sexual in our sexual relationship history, there might be some things in our relationship past sexually that maybe wasn't medicine.
Totally, yeah. People are lonely right now.
Yeah.
So you might have an ex calling you, you know, wanting to quarantine us.
Well, and like, are we going to sexual expression for the right reasons? Are we going out of loneliness? Are we going out of insecurity? Are we going because I'm unworthy and I need external validation? And so this is also looking at your sexual past and your current sexual dynamics to say, are they in alignment? Does anything need to be healed, guilt or shame, or any residual from sexual history that really is not what you want to carry into this next chapter of healthy sexual expression? How has that showed up for you in the past or present?
Well, for me, I have an amazing partner right now, and it's been such a blessing to have someone to spend time with during this reflection period, and it's really allowed me to see, because I've been in a lot of unhealthy relationships and I've had extra time with this person. Thank God, it's been absolutely amazing. But also realizing, where those boundaries need to be as far as like my focus time for just myself, or my focus time on my business, or it's been, for me, I have no complaints in that area right now.
And so, but what have you had to shift or let go of in order to attract that? What did you have to say no of that would allow a healthier sexual relationship in?
Yeah, I've really had to honor my own integrity and what my values are and how I want to show up in the world.
Yeah.
And before this person came into my life, I really had to express what I'm okay with and what I'm not okay with, and live from that place of integrity and being okay being alone.
Yeah. I think that's really important for is that
because before this person came into my life,
yeah.
I had to make space.
Yeah.
You can't let new things come. New things aren't going to come into your life until you create the space for it.
Yeah.
And just by me expressing my truth and what feels right for me and what feels from a place of integrity for me, it was painful. And I had to let go of so much.
Yeah.
And I had to be lonely and be by myself and face like, okay, I'm in this alone.
This is important, is understanding how to move our sexual energy, how when we are honoring it and in the self-respectful space, then our sexual energy isn't leaking into relationships that aren't really in integrity or in harmony with ourselves, where we can be saying yes to an intimate experience for the wrong reason, or we can not be expressing our truth within a sexual relationship, or not feeling okay with our sexual urges, and instead of reaching out for somebody else, it's like, how can I get curious about what am I really reaching for right now, and learning how to, hello butterfly, how to be in the joy without needing to express that sexually with another partner. And I think it's really important for us all to be able to have that ability to honor our sexual expression in the solo space, and that way we're moving in integrity when we're in relationship with another.
And who you choose to relate with or connect with is going to affect all other aspects of your life.
For sure.
So without me, I had blinders on and I wasn't realizing that it was leaking into my business, leaking into my own health practices, my patterns that I was, and the daily choices that I was making.
Yeah.
So once I cleared that out, I really cleared the muddy water, and my river started flowing clean again.
So a question, an invitation that we have for you is to look at where you're currently, what's your current story around sexual expression, and is there anything from a past sexual experience, whether that's a trauma, whether that's from whoops, I probably shouldn't have opened or said yes, or I didn't say yes but I didn't say no, or those kinds of situations. Perhaps anything from the past that you want to clean out sexually or look back and learn from, that maybe I might make a different choice in the future. So our questions to you around the second chakra is, can there be some creative expression outlet? Maybe that's movement, play, creative, art. Where can you be more in harmony with tidying up and cleaning your sexual energy? And where can you really honor your emotional intelligence right now and hold a space for your emotions to ebb and flow and have a safe, healthy space for them to express? So, we tidy on the second so far?
I think we are.
All right.
Let's move on up
to the third chakra, and this is the fire element and the solar plexus. So, brother, what sits here?
So as far as the fire goes, that is your motivation, your passion, your drive, your identity.
Yeah.
How you're showing up in the world.
Yeah. This is authentic power, and who am I outside of everybody else's judgments or everybody else's opinion? This is your authenticity and your authentic path, your authentic purpose, and being really honest and in integrity with that. And so in any way, are you sourcing external validation from everybody else, rather than in this time of deep listening, am I being true to myself? And it feels like this whole experience has brought us back into self to find our own truth and to be like, am I living in my truth?
Is my fire lit?
Is my fire lit, and am I letting it shine?
Yeah.
And am I holding it back out of fear of judgment or fear of failure?
Yeah.
And I think that that's like a legitimate concern, is like, is it safe for me to shine? And the bigger question is, what is the cost if you don't? Like, if you're not in your authenticity, and if you're not following your authentic path and being true to who you are, let's really get with the cost, of what that's costing you, whether it's your happiness, whether it is your joy, whether it is abundance because you're doing what you don't love, maybe it's your emotional, mental stability, emotional health, and what is it costing you if you're like seeking power outside of yourself or not being honest with who you truly are.
Is there anything that's coming up for you right now as far as the solar plexus or the fire?
I think for me in the solar plexus, it's this learning how to balance, like filling my cup back up and then moving out. And so I've realized that it's been out of balance, that there's a lot of energy moving out, because this is, this is your energy center.
And you're pretty fired.
I'm pretty, like, this is my birth sign, this is my birth month, like, I tend to move energy outward. And so I think for me is learning how to hold the fire in a little bit more and be more balanced with it, so it's not always going out, and that I can stoke the fire by rest and self-care and receptivity as well. And like I've navigated through, because what also sits here is confidence and like courage. And in order to do what I do, I've had to be able to feel comfortable with external criticism, that not everybody's going to like my message or my truth.
That's the truth.
And that I've had
to be okay with that.
I've had to really navigate giving 0 F's about judgments or external criticism, and just being in my truth, and to face the fear of rejection or criticism, and just to trust that this is my truth, this is my light, and that it has medicine for somebody. It's not going to be medicine for everybody. And so I think the accommodator in me, in my solar plexus, had to just stand down, and the authentic, radiant truth needed to come forward, because the accommodator wanted to please everybody, wanted to have everybody like me. And so I think in my solar plexus, I really had to kind of navigate through those gateways. And now it's just more about how to cultivate my inner light and keep diving into what is the expression of it now as things change, as I need to change. The question of what am I doing that takes away my light? Relationships, health choices, business choices, about how I'm moving energy, and like really getting with what am I doing that supports, expands, and nourishes and replenishes my light, and what choices have I historically been or currently doing that in any way diminish it or oppress it or leak it.
Does it align with your authentic path?
Exactly. And like my inner truth, as that changes,
because it will change.
It evolves.
We have to shift and adapt.
Yeah, it evolves as you evolve and grow, and as I really deepen into what is my soul's like real, true expression, as I keep unveiling all of the clouds around my sunshine, that most of which is my own oppression or my own story, as I keep, breathing through those layers, I can find my authentic light again and again. And it's a journey of
and it doesn't end. We
No!
have to continue to unveil our fire.
Right?
And for me, I've really noticed that with the fire center, it's cultivating a fire of longevity.
Oh yeah. Right.
And because we can have a blast of fire and just burn ourselves out.
Yeah. This is the adrenals.
And then you go back and then you're like, oh, where's my fire? Well, I got to rest for a couple months before I have a spark of motivation again. So really figuring out, tapping in what's gonna fuel my fire for the long haul.
Yeah. And it's doing what you love too.
Is doing what you love, and it's figuring out what I can say the same for myself, is that I'm definitely I'm a people pleaser by nature, or I want to accommodate, and therefore when you do that, you dull your own shine, and you really hold back your own expression and Yeah.
Because this is where leadership sits. And if you're not being authentic, then you're leading from a place of inauthenticity and not real truth. And you're actually not leading with your greatest powers.
Yeah.
Because if you're holding your light back, or your truth, or your passion, or your gifts back out of fear of rejection or failure, then you're really holding back your most powerful gifts that we actually need right now. And so this is a time, and we invite you to kind of drop in, like, what is my authentic truth right now? What is really soulful? Where can I express who I am and lead with my passionate, powerful gifts? Maybe your gift is time. Maybe your gift is abundance. Maybe your gift is some product or some tool or resource that we could actually use right now.
Yeah.
So our question there is, where can you be more authentic? What fears do you need to face to step across that threshold and lead authentically, courageously, and confidently?
Right now, it's a time to show up as a leader.
Yeah. Yeah. And whatever that looks like, whether that's as a musician, whether that's as a parent, whether that's as a caregiver or a healer, like, you being in your power and bringing your magic is what we need.
Let your medicine shine.
Let your medicine shine. So our question here in the third chakra is, what do you have to let go of? And what can you step forward into to allow that to be expressed and be shared with the community?
Beautiful.
Okay, let's move into the Anahata, the heart chakra.
All right, Anahata.
Right? So this is, right now, especially with what's happening, a whole other level of self-care and self-love. We've been kind of forced to slow down and support our immune system and rest and create more healthy eating habits and lifestyle habits and listen to our bodies more. And so this is definitely, this stillness has invited us into the nurturing and more the feminine aspect of the heart chakra, of receiving love and nurturing and self-care that we might not be very good at. And so that's why it's so uncomfortable for many. It's like, I'd rather just Netflix or, sedate or ignore or distract myself with busyness. And this is a time for upping our self-care and our self-love game for sure. What's that showing up in here for you?
Well, for me, I think that right now, staying in the heart is so key. Like, I've caught myself getting in a scarcity mindset, or wanting to hoard food, or do whatever
right?
whatever it shows up as, or just being caught up in the thinking mind and just overthinking and letting my thoughts run wild, and really trying to draw my energy back into the center and just staying in the heart place, the place of that I am love, and I receive love. And therefore I can move down into the body if I need to, or I can move up into, the mind, but not letting either of those centers kind of use me.
Right.
Moving from the heart, drawing my energy back into the heart, and letting myself be a living expression of love.
Right. Like days after this whole thing kind of blew up and went global, my first inclination was, okay, do a little transmission. It's on the podcast. It's also on my IGTV of just let love go viral.
Yes.
Let love go viral.
Just as contagious.
It's so, so that is, the heart is the higher vibration that humanity is being asked to vibe up here in the heart of loving each other, even if we don't always agree with each other's choices, and even to love the chaos and to love the lesson, to love self for all of our, shadow, and to be compassionate and forgiving. All of these things sit in the heart, to be able to be compassionate for the chaos and the fear and the choices that ourselves or others are making right now. And so this is a time of great compassion and tenderness, and all of those frequencies sit. And can we let love go viral at these times?
Yeah.
And it's a powerful, it's a beautiful and tender and delicious time to move out of fear and scarcity and to move into the higher frequencies of what love really is.
Yeah.
So the heart is the bridge between spirituality, and consciousness and the physical body and the physical realm. And we're being asked to evolve our frequency right now as humanity. Is how can we create the new paradigm from the heart and not from fear or greed or me, mine, but us, ours, and be in more community in the heart.
Yeah.
For sure.
And the heart always knows what's right for you. It's the place where we should be making decisions from.
Yeah. Yeah.
So continuing to tune back into when I need to make decisions, is this a heart-centered decision?
Yeah.
Is this a decision out of fear? Is this a decision out of overthinking? Or is this a decision from my center?
And that's where the head, the prayer, the posture, this posture, the Anjali Mudra with the hands in prayer over the heart, where we bow our head, is this, okay, I know the head has its limitations and its agendas and its projections and stories, and that's why we bow the head, not out of subservience or ignorance, but out of humility and intelligence, that the heart is not the place to lead, but the head is not the place to lead, but the heart is. So when we bow the head, it's more about surrendering the driver's seat to the heart rather than the mind.
Yeah.
So to the Anahata, self, letting love in and letting love out. All right. Hey, stay tuned for the whole thing because we do have a guided visualization for you with music coming. So thanks for staying with us this whole time.
We will do an alignment at the end.
Yes. Okay, so the throat chakra.
Moving on up.
Moving on up.
The expression.
Yeah.
The communication.
Yeah.
Anything coming up for you there?
Oh my gosh. For me, when I work with my clients, the throat chakra sits on top of all of the other chakras. So if we're out of alignment and in our root we're feeling fear and scarcity, if our emotional body is triggered, we don't feel like confident and our heart is closed, then that's what we're going to express. So that's why working from the lower chakras up really helps us get those in alignment so that what we are expressing is coming from balanced, clear emotions, feeling stable and supported. It's coming from the heart authentically. Then what we express is medicine and not poison, and faith rather than fear, and solution rather than blame. Because the voice right now, if we are leading, the voice can be a very powerful guide to kind of lead other people down the path of a consciousness path, a cooperative path, a heart-centered path. And so our voice right now is very important. And the other morning I just woke in a funk. And I was like, okay, don't express from this place.
Yeah.
I needed to just kind of get still, go down, get curious, and kind of align things before I could reach out and talk to my staff in my business, and because if I was going to come from that place, I was going to come from fear, overwhelm, panic, and I wasn't going to be medicine in any way. It was definitely going to make it worse. And so I think that this whole idea around the throat chakra, the acronym THINK, is a wonderful filter to think before I express. T, is it true? H, is it helpful? I, is it inspiring? N, is it necessary? And K, is it kind?
Ooh, I love that.
I know.
I love that.
And like 95% of the time I can think, and say like, you know what? Saying I told you so isn't really necessary, inspiring, or kind. Yeah. And expressing anger or blame towards somebody else is probably not necessary or kind. Can I speak my truth in a conscious, clear way of what my needs are without blaming? Yes. So I might need to refine my expression before, and I might need to tune it up before I express. And it's not about shutting down the voice, it's about filtering it so that what is expressed is true, conscious, clear, calm, compassionate communication, and not coming from a contracted place. So I can be honest with that. A lot of my communication in the past has come from from that place of contraction. And that doesn't mean I'm probably done ever
Yeah.
expressing from a contracted place.
It's going to happen.
Human, journey here. But yeah, I think that's one that is my voice medicine at this time?
Yeah.
And you?
That's exactly where I've been. I've really have not wanted to express because I've felt myself thrown off of my center.
Yeah.
And I'm like, am I expressing? What I'm expressing right now, is that medicine to the collective, to the people in my immediate environment. So I've kind of just taken this time to not express as much until I get all of my other centers aligned, and then I can speak, because what you speak is contagious.
It is, but goes viral.
It
can be hate and fear, or it can be hope and positivity. It can be part of the solution, or it can be part of the problem. And so I think mindfulness with our voice is super essential right now.
So getting everything else aligned, that way what you are expressing comes from a place of love, comes from a place of alignment, comes from a place of, having the right perspective as well, which we're going to get into.
Right. And I think looking at, have I expressed in a way that has been harmful, and I think part of the medicine that can heal those situations is, hey, let me come forward and be accountable to, hey, I'm sorry I raised my voice, or I'm sorry I blamed you. And so I think our voice can be healing medicine to be accountable for those times in which our human experiences, for whatever reason, came from a place of contraction. And so we can kind of tidy up those things where we've made a little mess or a big mess, and learn how to, when those do happen, to be in a place of accountability and use our voice to kind of heal the wounds that we've created. Okay, wonderful. Let's move up to the third eye, the ajna. And so, just back up. The heart and the throat are the air element. And now we're moving up to the ether, like the higher realms of consciousness. So what's here in the third eye?
The third eye is the ability to see with your eyes closed.
Yeah.
It's your mind, it's your imagination, and all of those could be running rampant right now.
Right. So this is perspective. Are we coming from a contracted mindset of programs and, limitations, or are we seeing the perspective, and victim mentality, which is very easy to move into that old perspective of, I don't have control, and, being the victim. And I think it's very essential at this time to see this as an opportunity for us to evolve, for us to grow, and that when we're seeing the parts of us that are timeless, that is our soul essence, can never be quarantined, it can never be controlled, it can never be manipulated by an outside source. And so our perspective of what we think is possible, and our power, and how this is an invitation for humanity to rise, and that we can create solutions. This has everything to do with our perspective and our mindset right now. And with what filter are you seeing this whole experience through? How are you seeing yourself? How are you seeing politicians? How are you seeing other people? And perspective, the ajna, the third eye, when we're in the closed part and we're seeing through human eyes, it's kind of like seeing the whole experience through a teeny little straw, which is not the whole picture. And, our essence and what is possible is so limited when we look through a teeny little straw. And when our primal brain is in that fight or flight, we go very to narrow me and mine and my own survival, rather than moving into, how do I see the big picture, like the eagle that sits in this space? And how do I rise above it and see the solution? Because if I'm in that narrow fight or flight, I'm not going to be able to access a clear path. So this is where it's really nice, as Steven said, to close our human eyes and kind of open our spiritual third eye, so that we can see the much bigger picture. And it allows us to find creative solutions in that, because when we know that there's a way, and we believe that there is a way, there is a way.
you will find evidence for whatever you are believing.
Right.
You will find evidence for whatever your perspective is. So, like we said in the beginning, do you have the perspective of using this as a catalyst, of using this as a time to, make the necessary changes, to focus on how you want to show up in the world, or how you want to grow?
Right.
I mean, are you seeing the benefits of this?
Right. This is our mind is creating our reality. They say our beliefs create our reality, and we're seeing that. That famous quote with Gandhi that goes through, your thoughts create your beliefs create your actions create your habits, and then here comes your reality, and your life becomes what you believe is possible. And so we are both looking at, where am I running on some old patterns and limitations in the mind that think I can't be abundant, or that I'm going to fail, or I'm not supported, or there isn't abundance, or I have to hustle, or nobody loves me, or like all of these old beliefs. This is a great time to check. Are any of those limiting patterns and beliefs happening in your mind that are holding you back from a new positive mindset about what's possible right now, and where can you upgrade? And so the invitation here with the ajna, with the sixth chakra, the third eye, is let's look at our beliefs. Is there any old ones running? And if you get into that place, let's look at, what am I thinking or feeling right now? We'll find those limiting beliefs. And then if it's I'm unworthy or I'm unlovable, then what would be its opposite? I'm abundant, I'm prosperous, I'm worthy, I do matter, I can do it. And so we want to do that pivot right now and be in our daily thoughts feeding the positivity of what's possible. And so that, what I do is like quantum visualizations every morning of dreaming into the new paradigm, dreaming into my future self, and feeding that so that I can overwrite the programs that have been fed for decades that have limitations, distortions, and corrupt programming about what I think is possible and how I see the world.
Yeah. What other perspectives that are coming at you that are throwing off your center, your neutrality?
Yeah.
But right now, for me, my meditation practice has been a non-negotiable.
Right.
So that way I can remain in the perspective that I want to, because no one can take your perspective away. No one can take your mindset away. You get to wake up every morning and make the choice of how you want to see the world.
Right. And what you feed your brain, and that's why I think the morning routines are so important, is that you can go right on to CNN in the morning, and then you start feeding your brain with fear and scarcity, or you can go into that connection with spirit and the divine, and this is where meditation practices are really important. You can go into spiritual communion and calming and clearing the mind, and dreaming into what qualities and what life you are creating, so that you start your day with positivity and being a possibilitarian instead of starting the day, right? Because that is also infectious. And then when you meet chaos, you can be seeing it from a positive place. You can help other people shift. And so this is where our morning routines about clearing our mind and getting connected to possibilities and positivity. That doesn't mean we ignore the important decisions and we're just up here in the ether like la la la, unicorn, everything's fine. It doesn't mean we don't have to really look at finances and our health and choices that we may need to make to feel sustainable. But at least if we're coming from a calm, clear place, we'll be able to navigate those choices with calmness and also with inspiration, or to bring spirit in so that we have ideas and inspiring possibilities to help us navigate that when we're in the narrow mindset are just not available to us. So beautiful. Good?
Good.
Let's go to the crown. Right? What I found, phenomenal is that, when this first all happened and I did that Let Love Go viral video, and when I was sitting in meditation with it, I'm like, oh, corona means crown in Spanish. And it's like, oh, this is going to be amplifying our spiritual connection, because we are going to be humbled to ask for divine guidance at this time. Like, it's just like, yeah. So what's this bringing up for your, in the crown chakra around your spiritual connection?
having a spiritual connection right now is more important than, I mean, it's always been very important, but just continuing to trust that this is, you know, for every contraction there will be an expansion. And we, you know, through spirit works through both creation and destruction. You know, it may look like a lot of bad things are happening, but it could be creating space for a new paradigm, for us to show up in a new beautiful way. And there could be amazing progressive things that evolve out of this. So just because it might look to our physical, you know, to our physicality or to our eyes that things are crumbling underneath us, you know, spirit works through both creation and destruction. So there can be amazing things that come out of this, and continuing to really just trust. That has been what's kept me going.
Yeah, I just think that the spiritual practices are super essential right now. At times where it might have been like, oh yeah, spirit, I just connect. It's like, okay, every day, help me to see things, show me the way, give me ideas and inspiration means to bring spirit in. And so that we are in this place, as the wind spirit blows, that we are in the place where we're not alone. And I think it's really valuable. It's really valuable at this time to be in a co-creation and in a collaboration with our spiritual council, whatever that means to you, whether that's nature, whether that's church, God, your ancestors, higher self, animal spirit guides, you know, angels, whatever that is for you, that you find a place where you have support and a source to fill your cup back up, to stay calm. And I feel at this point, if you are navigating your soul's mission and that part of you that is collaborating and has already agreed with the universe that you came here at this time for a reason, then we start to acknowledge that our spiritual council is collaborating with us, can give us courage, strength, inspiration, confidence, peace, patience, faith. And these are all the qualities that we need right now, because if we go into the other place, we'll make choices from a contracted place and be part of the chaos and the destruction instead of the solution and building the new paradigm. That in that spiritual place of alignment with our crown, where we're in collaboration, we're going to be able to create the new paradigm together. And to really surrender into that is really juicy and delicious. And I think that's been the only way I've been able to handle what is happening each day, is that I'm not handling it alone, and I don't have to have all the answers, and I don't have to know what's happening next, and I don't have to know how it's going to work. And that level of faith and trust, that doesn't mean that I don't still take action, but when I'm coming from an aligned place, then my action is more inspired and it's more aligned with sustainability for me, but also for my service and connection to humanity and Mother Earth, because our spiritual guidance right now is saying, hey, every choice aligned with self, every choice aligned with benefiting the higher collective, and not just, hey, I do this and the community pays or Mother Earth pays. Like everything from this time now has to be in sacredness and in this place where community, 7 generations forward, and Mother Earth benefits. Like it's really checking every choice at this point, I think.
Yeah. And make, our crown is the tip of our antenna. Are we connected to divine guidance? Are we, and all the way down. This is a time to just really get aligned. We are in this force reflection, this time of we all get to sit with ourselves. Are we connected to Source? Are we connected to the earth? Are we moving forward from a place of our heart, from a place of our living expression? So we're all in this together.
And by all, what spirit guides might be coming forward to help you at this time. angels. We might draw upon our ancestors that lived through the Depression and their level of resourcefulness, or we wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for our ancestors' resourcefulness during times of famine and war and needing to, financial crisis, because we are the result of our ancestors making some, decisions to help us survive. And right now we're looking, how can we make decisions about thriving, not just surviving, but that we build our new paradigm on more solid foundation that considers playfulness, our emotions, our authenticity, our voice, our spiritual connection, our love, our stability, our health, and our longevity and our sustainability. Like that we're taking all of that into consideration. It's like, and it's an exciting time, huh? So we would love to do a little guided musical journey for you right now. And hey, we want to give you a free gift. Check in the show notes.
Free gift.
Check in the show notes. There's going to be a guided chakra balancing meditation with some musical accompaniment that walks you through chakra balancing. And that's something that you could do every day. You could do it in the morning or before you go to bed. So I'm going to be offering that as a free gift and half off the chakra balancing online course so that you can learn a little bit more about the chakras and learn how to balance them yourself. And so be sure to check the show notes for Steven's info. Before we dive into the journey, where can people find you?
So I'm probably most active on Instagram. I post a lot of insight, movement practices, spiritual practices. Also, my podcast is Ebb and Flow Radio. Had some amazing guests with applicable practices for your day-to-day pleasure as well. And tune in there. This will be on both of our podcasts, YouTube, probably Instagram as well. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you, where can we find you at?
Oh, well, I'm here in Sedona, and you can find me on shamangelichealing.com. And I'm here when you are free to travel and are inspired to be here in Sedona. Guided journeys for the soul, for empowerment and awakening, whether you're releasing density or stepping more into your personal light and personal power. Come here to Sedona and join me for a sacred journey of personal tailored healing and awakening. And if you need some body work, get over and see Steven here. And I'm on the Shamangelic Healing podcast on Instagram. I'm at Anahata Ananda. That's where you can find me on Facebook and Instagram. This will be on YouTube on the Shamangelic Healing channel. So we wanted to share that with you. Be sure to check all of the show notes so that way you can get connected with both of us. And definitely grab that free gift, that guided chakra balancing visualization. And if this was like soulful and helpful, please tag somebody that you think might benefit.
Share with a friend.
Yeah.
Also, reviews are always appreciated on Apple Podcasts.
Yeah,
that helps boost the algorithmic gods.
Yes, please give us a shout out. We'd love to hear your comments and what was really the chakra that really needed attention. What really helped you? We would love to know that, and we'll be responding to the comments for sure. And so let's dive into a beautiful musical journey with the backdrop of sacred Sedona. And this altar, by the way, has healing, peace. What's on your side?
Dream.
Joy. And courage and growth. And in the center, we put a beautiful heart. That love be at the center of all of our actions and all of our choices. And there's a root stone from the Andes, a shamanic stone that balances all the chakras, and also a crystal from Peru as well of just divine connection. So if you're able to sit still and close your eyes, and if that's aligned with wherever you are right now, do that. So just dropping in with some gentle inhales and exhales as we melt away the density, as we melt away any stress and anxiety. Use your breath to be a broom that brings you back to your center of calmness, clarity. Each inhale brings in peace and grace. And each exhale, surrender, let go of density. And on this next inhale, we're going to breathe in a red stream of light and breathe it all the way down your spine into your root. Let it pool a red ball of light at your coccyx. And see that red ball of light being balanced, that your finances are coming into a great harmony, that your physical health, that you are feeling strong and supported, that you are connected with your community, your tribe, that you feel supported and safe. And feel your root connected with Mother Earth, that you have a relationship with her that is reciprocal, loving and respectful. And that in your root chakra, you feel supported in your life, all areas of your life. That your career, your living environment feels safe and strong. And so breathe that red ball of light and feel that going out of your root, down your legs, out the bottoms of your feet, and into Mother Earth, into this red soil of Sedona, wherever you live, so that you feel strong and stable, like the biggest redwood on the planet, thousands of years old. So breathe that red chakra, root chakra, and feel the strength. Breathe one more breath in and breathe out the roots all the way down into Mother Earth. Next, breathe in an orange stream of light down your spine and let it pool behind your belly button, right in the center of your belly. And feel that red, that orange, pulsing ball of light, igniting the inner child and her or his playfulness, adventure, and creative expression. That your inner child's emotions, that whatever he or she is feeling is held and supported and loved. That you ride the waves of your emotion, and that you honor the intelligence of your emotions. Feel that orange stream of light pulsing there in your second chakra, your digestion, and also your sexual organs, that you are in harmony and integrity with how you move your sexual energy. That it is with intention and self-respect and respect for others. That your sacred center, your sacred temple is honored. This is your garden, and may it be fertile, and may you plant seeds here that you are here to birth. So feel that orange stream of light, this beautiful orange river of your emotions, your creative expression, your sexual energy, thriving and abundant. And it is stacked now on top of your root chakra, and these two orbs of light, the orange and the red, pulsing together in unison. Now breathe in a golden stream of light. And breathe it down into your diaphragm, into your stomach, beneath your ribs and back. And in that golden orb of light, find your fire, your truth, your light. That part of you that is a star, that is shining. And let your golden light be expressed. Let it shine. Let it be luminous, radiant, and let it shine a light for others with ease and grace. Authenticity, so that you're shining your truth, your light, and your love in a way that only you can. And feed your internal fire. Honor it and let it shine. So feel your light like a star shining in the darkness, that we are ready for you, and give yourself permission to shine brightly. authentically, and to courageously lead at this time with your truth, with your medicine, with your gifts. As we shed away any insecurities, any fear or doubt, feel that golden ball of light shining, stacking and pulsing in harmony with the second and the third chakras, now gold and orange and red in harmony and in unison as the lower chakras are aligned. Now let's breathe in a green stream of light right into the heart, into your Anahata. And may your lungs be receptive of love and expressive of love. May it be a flow in and out, where you fill your cup back up. That the love in your heart, that you are receptive. Self-love, self-care, and also that love and caring be expressed out to others. And feel this green ball of light being pulsed through the body, your heart and your lungs, pulsing it not only through your body so that you feel loved, but it's overflowing, and it's overflowing out of you, this beautiful green ray of light, your love being shined out for humanity and back to Mother Earth. And feel that green stream of light pulsing, that ball pulsing over top of the yellow, the orange, and the red, harmonized, and the other chakras are infused now with unconditional love. Let's breathe in now a blue stream of light, pulling right into our throat chakra, right into our voice. And feel this blue stream, this beautiful ball of light that filters our expression so that what we speak is conscious, is clear, is truth, and is medicine, that is wisdom, that is kind, inspiring, and supportive. And so feel that blue ball of light, your expression, your voice, pulsing and harmonizing with the green, with the yellow, with the orange, and with the red, aligning your chakras and expressing confidence, healthy emotions, and stability and support out to humanity and to Mother Earth at this time. Breathe in now this beautiful purple stream of light and let it pull right between your eyebrows, this beautiful amethyst-colored purple ray of light pulsing, where you can see through this divine eye a greater divine perspective of what is happening here, of who you are, of what is possible, where you can see heaven on earth and your part in it. That you can see us as humanity thriving, supportive, loving, and in harmony with creation and all of its creatures. That we see heaven on earth is not only possible, it's inevitable. And see ourselves collecting and holding hands together with the rest of humanity, other walks of life, other ethnicities, other religious beliefs, other political beliefs, and that we drop all of the diversity and we come together as humanity, as one collective, serving the plant, the animal, and the natural kingdom, and that we're here to thrive, where our love can go viral, and that we can create harmony here on earth. So feel that purple sphere of light stacking on top of the blue, the green, the yellow, the orange, and the red, in this beautiful rainbow that bridges between heaven and earth, because you are a rainbow. And when all of your chakras are aligned and radiant, then you bring miracles and treasures from the heavens down into the earthly realm for all of us to share and receive. And let's breathe now in a radiant white stream of light where we can see it plugging into the lotus flower that sits like a crown on top of our head. And allow divine grace, truth, and love to infuse every petal of your lotus so that you feel connected, that you remember who you are, that you receive divine wisdom, that you breathe in peace through every center of your body. Inspiration, consciousness, timelessness, acknowledging and remembering that you are eternal and no one can take your power from you, your freedom, your truth, your light. It is eternal, it is abundant, and it is timeless. So reconnect, remember, reawaken, reestablish, and realign with your spiritual council, because you're not on this journey alone. Feel your ancestors that have your back, your past and future expressions of your soul's essence, here to help guide you. Your higher self, ascended masters, angels, spiritual guides, whispering in your ear, opening doors for you, closing others that don't belong to you. And we give thanks and gratitude at this time for our spiritual council that is leading the way. It is lighting the path. And feel that iridescent light filtering down and pulsing, purifying, energizing, and aligning every chakra energy center of your body. Because you are powerful beyond measure. You are an earth angel that came here to bridge your medicine here and share it with humanity in a way that only you can. And we are ready for you. We are ready for your medicine, your gifts, your light, your truth, your compassion, your voice, and your love. Yes, brother. Thank you for your musical medicine. I remember when you first got this gift, that it spoke to you and you listened, and your muse is beautiful and it plays through you. So thank you, brother, for that. And
Thank you for your transmissions as well.
Yeah.
Collaboration.
This has been super sweet. I deeply appreciate your medicine and what you're navigating to be even more powerful and more aligned, what you're letting go of to bring your powerful, soulful wisdom to humanity. Thank you.
For that reflection. Thank you for also being a pillar for community here in Sedona and for the online community as well, and for all the teachings that you've shared and continue to show up and from a heart, a place of integrity. It's an honor to share space with you anytime. Our beautiful backyard.
In our backyard in Sedona. So if you're ready for some support, come and visit us here in Sedona. If you need a personalized, tailored retreat, and there are some retreats and events coming up that have been rescheduled, and also training for different healing tools and modalities, and Shamangelic breathwork training is happening. You will be attending that, so that's happening this summer. And if you are called to support, if you want phone counseling right now, you can also get free stuff.
I'm offering phone counseling.
If you're wanting support with the physicality of things, of like how to move through your physical body, Steven is amazing. If you're wanting like emotional, energetic, spiritual clearing, like happy to support you. And so you can connect with that on my website and also on Steven's Gram. And we're here for you. Absolutely. Please share this with others, and please let us know through private message or through the comments what really landed for you today. And thank you for aligning, for shedding, and for releasing releasing and getting clear so that you are a powerful force of leading our community in ways that only you can. So thank you for what you're doing to make a difference right now.
Tuning in and showing up.
All right.
We're out.
We love you from Sedona. Blessings.